All right, guys, a little update video here. So instead of doing a whole bunch of stages like I originally planned, ended up just doing pretty much everything. That was kind of unintentional. We had a lot of rain over the last week, so parts just kept coming in, and so I was like, well, I might as well just throw everything on there. So, but we'll start up on the front here. So I ended up just using a stock wheel, and I had these a Maxxis tire just laying around, so I just went up and did that, threw that on there. It is still tubed. I am going to put a tubeless setup on there. I'm waiting for the valves to come in. I think they should be here tomorrow, actually. Got the hydraulic brake off of Amazon. It was a Zoom, and then I put the 180 millimeter disc on the front. I have yet to try this on the trail yet with all these upgrades. The last time I rode the bike on the trail was when it was all stock, so kind of see how that goes. On the fork here, this is just a stock Axum fork, I believe. It's a coil spring. You can adjust it. It kind of seems like this selector here is actually reversed. I'm not quite sure. Like, it seems like when you turn it to the lock position, it is actually open, and it's just backwards. I don't know, it's kind of odd. But I'm still trying to get the tuning and everything done on that. So here's it basically looks like a Shimano knockoff, is from what I'm gathering, but it's labeled as a Zoom. I can't remember, it was like a Bucky. Of course, I just watched Captain America and Winter Soldier, so that's going to be on my mind, but it was like Buckley or something like that off Amazon. Just Chinese knockoff of a Shimano is what it's looking like, but I've used those in the past. I really do like them, actually. These grips, I had those off of my Canyon. I just threw those on there. Probably going to go with a different grip in the future, but for now it works. Went with a little bit shorter stem. Got the Wake on there. They're like 12 bucks on Amazon. I haven't had any issues with them. I have seen where those screws can strip out in the stem housing there. I've never had that problem yet, but I do like them. I think it's a 45 millimeter stem, if I remember right. The JG Bike bars, I've used those in the past. I really like them. They're like 20 bucks, cheap. The stock bar was steel, so having the aluminum bar, it actually cut the weight in half. It was actually pretty remarkable, actually. Keeping the same brake on the rear. I did get the Shimano group set and everything. I probably doubled the price of the bike when I bought the group set, but you get what you pay for, and it's completely changed this bike around from what I could tell, just kind of playing around the house and everything. So I went with a 1x11 set. The stock set was 1x7, so it was nice still having the 1x, but having that 11 speed is definitely going to make a big difference here, and is quite a bit bigger. So I think it's like a 40 or 42 tooth, something like that. I probably should have prepared a little bit better before I shot this video, but it is drastically bigger, so I'm hoping that really helps out with the climbing. Went with a threadless bottom bracket. I have not tried these yet. It's JG Bike. That's kind of the theme of the bike, I guess, with kind of a shout out to JG Bike. I actually really like their products. This is the most amount of products I've had from them. So, but honestly, I haven't had a bad experience yet. So, and actually came with the free ring gear. That whole bottom bracket with the crank arms minus the pedals was like 40 bucks. Actually, I don't even think it was that much. It was a really good deal. I was really shocked. So the group set came with the chain. I actually screwed that up a little bit, so I had to I had to take it to the local shop and have them mend that. One thing I did notice with putting the Shimano derailleur and everything on here, this mount is very vertical. It doesn't kick it back very well at all. So like the B screw and everything, it's almost bottomed out, and you can just see the amount of gap and everything we have here. If I remember right, I think it's supposed to be like 4 millimeters, and we're at an inch. So that is not right. I'm wondering if that's going to lead to any issues in the future. I don't know if I can get a different bracket or something that the derailleur can go into, and maybe it can kick it back more and get that proper angle. I think it should kind of more go down with the tube here. I'm not for sure, but it just doesn't seem right to me. Oh, let's see, what else? I got the Fuker pedals on there. I really like those. I've used them in the past. They're cheap. Haven't ever had any issues with them. Your feet stay on them really well. Comes with a couple extra screws and everything. Rear brake is all stock right now. I do have a 180 millimeter disc for that. I was just going to run the mechanical caliper on there still, but I just haven't got around to doing it yet. And honestly, the rear works pretty well. It works much better than the front. That's why I wanted to do all the things to the front. I was running the 180 disc with the stock caliper, and actually it wasn't bad. Realistically, you probably could have just ran with that, but I already had that hydraulic system on the way, so I just went ahead and threw that on there. So follow along after this here, and we'll get this thing on the trail, and we'll see what happens. Oh, I forgot to mention too, we got the I had a WTB tire along with the Maxxis there. I really think that's going to be the biggest upgrade onto this bike, just getting rid of those stock tires. I think they're much better compound, but tread pattern, everything's going to be better, I think, on them. So more to follow with that, but I think everything else, it should be pretty good. I have about I added it all up, I probably have about $600 total in this bike now. Probably ridiculous, realistically, being that it's a $250 bike from Walmart. That 600 does include the purchase of the bike though too. But I think during these times that when it's hard to find a bike, for one, of a large frame, hardtail, all the things, 600 to me is really not that bad. It is heavy. It weighed 35.5 pounds when it was in stock form. It is down to about 33 now. I haven't done the tubeless yet, so that should drop a little bit, not a whole lot, but that will help out. So I was really hoping to get it under 30 pounds. I just don't see it. These frames just must be very heavy. So, but it is getting better, and I just really, honestly, I just really enjoy riding this bike. It feels very comfortable to me compared to my Canyon's awesome, of course, but it should work out really well. I think it'll make a very nice bike, and it's very budget friendly. So you figure a hardtail budget bike, in a Trek or Specialized or anything like that, you're looking at $750 to $1,500 or so, I'd say. Maybe a little under that. If you get like a Marlin 5, I think they're around like $550 or so. But I'm not gonna lie, I think I could put this bike up against that, and I think it'd be very comparable, if not better than that, honestly. You get like a Marlin 7 or something like that, and that's kind of how I view this. It's pretty comparable to like a Marlin 7. I may be completely wrong on that. I've never actually rode one, but just kind of seeing like what features it has, and I'm sure the geometry is not as good and everything as like a Marlin. But I think for what this is, for how much I got into it and everything, I think it'd be a very, very comparable bike. I don't know. What do you guys think?